Even I had to go back living with my parents, which for me was really the representation of failure, because after so many years traveling all over the world, I lived in so many different countries and with such an international mind and heart, going back to my parents was really believing for me the real failure. I started my career in big multinational companies, but I really realized I wasn't made to become a finance director. But at one point I realized I was totally missing what I was feeling inside myself. I was missing creativity. I was missing the relationship with customers and the business. So I started looking for a different job, more related to creativity, to marketing, etc. And for 2 long years, I wasn't able to find one. So at what point I really decided to quit my job and create the job that I wanted to do myself, with no knowledge, with no experience, just by heart. So it was really a real jump, because I didn't know anything about digital and opening a community online and starting a brand totally online, but I did it. I took all the creativity that was in me and all the brand skills that I had within me and opened up Pink Trotters, which is a social network that allows women to travel together and to connect all over the world. And this idea really came from my own experience. I was traveling a lot of time for my own, by myself, both for personal reasons and for job reasons. And I was feeling a lot of times alone, and I didn't want to just open up a new dating website. I really wanted to create a community of powerful women, which relateful minds who could really share glamorous moments around the world together. So that was really my purpose. This is one of the several business models that I tried. It was a box called the Pink Trotters box, and people could buy it online. And I also made an app, a mobile app, where women could connect and have their own user name and find travel buddies all over the world and share their travel experiences. But however, everything looks amazing. Everything looks like we're having a lot of fun, and we actually were. However, at one point I realized that the business behind Pink Trotters was not so solid as it was supposed to be. And the problems that arose along my way were a lot. First of all, I wasn't really expecting entrepreneurship to be so challenging and so difficult, and I wasn't really prepared for it myself at that time. I was around 30 years old, from 30 to 34 years old, and I wasn't prepared for it emotionally and financially. Second of all, as I said, I couldn't find proper co-founders who could really share emotionally and economically, but also timingly, because you really have to commit hard when you have this sort of idea. If you commit 20%, it doesn't work. So I wasn't able to find people who were made to commit 100% as I was committing to this idea. I was trying too many different business models, but none of those businesses was really scalable and really able to make Pink Trotters successful economically. But the most difficult part was to raise money and to find the right financial partners, because majority of financial people or investment people are men. And none of the men I was speaking to was able to really understand the reason behind Pink Trotters. Everybody was trying me to change Pink Trotters, to turn Pink Trotters into a dating website. Or maybe they were commenting like, well, but why are you traveling by yourself? Don't you want to find other men in your trips? So it was really difficult for me to justify that we were just wanted to having fun among women. And actually, all the women that I met along my journey wanted to join Pink Trotters exactly because there were no men, and we were just having fun and girly time, just really, really like girly time together around the world. We really did that as well. So it was an amazing time. And all the pictures that I shared along my journey were full of smiles and, of course, fun. However, at one point, I was really feeling this way. I wasn't able to smile anymore at pictures, and all the pictures that I was sharing were still smiling. However, inside I was feeling differently. And this is what you see on social media, right? People having amazing lives. However, what they really have inside, you never know. So after 4 years working full time in Pink Trotters and really trying everything to make this Pink Trotters fly, because I was really believing in this project so much that I wasn't considering it as my child, really. I really had to stop doing everything that I wanted, that I liked, but since the beginning, honestly. But then, of course, financially, I was broke, and I really had to stop subscription to the gym. I was not going out for dinner anymore to save money and to be able to pursue Pink Trotters. I sold my bikes, my clothes. Even I had to go back living with my parents, which for me was really the representation of failure, because after so many years traveling all over the world, I lived in so many different countries and with such an international mind and heart, going back to my parents was really believing for me the real failure. So I really had to face depression and what it means to really feel by yourself, alone, coping with closing a business. So I had to realize that I was still alive, still able to go back to work, doing whatever I wanted. And this message was for me really revealing and comforting. After 4 years, I worked at BCG, I worked at Teads, I worked at TikTok, and I created a new company 3 months ago called Cosmic. I'm not alone. I have an amazing team of people helping me developing this new venture. I have amazing co-founders, but I also amazing financial partners, which is the main thing actually since the beginning. And so the journey has just started. And even if I will fail, I will probably fail again, okay, whatever, but I'm more successful as an entrepreneur and working for what I believe, with the people I choose to work for, with the business I believe in. So today I'm trying again. I will not give up trying, and you should do the same.